Hey, what's up? I'm back. Uh, basically here to teach you. Basically gonna be Inbred's Guide to Medic Part 2. What am I gonna be talking about now? Basically you could tell from the the title, but I'm basically gonna be talking about threat-based positioning. So what is this thing? What the hell is threat-based positioning? It's again before I start, I want to preface this by saying that this is applicable for every single game mode. So this could be Highlander, Ultimo, whatever, sixes, 4v4, like it is what it is. You can play even Pro Lander. This is usable in Pro Lander, right? So, what is threat-based positioning? So, threat-based positioning is positioning yourself as medic depending on who the classes are alive. So, the class on the enemy team. So, this is basically the threats I'm talking about. So, who is alive? So, what do I mean by this, right? Let's take this typical, uh, typical snake water middle. Usually, what ends up happening is scouts here, maybe here, soldier maybe spamming rockets here. Again, I'm gonna assume that you're blind, and we're basically just gonna be assuming on like every worst case scenario on every positioning. So, what does that mean, right? Threat-based positioning, understanding what classes are live and what class can kill you instantly. So as medic, again, I want to say this, you are the most important class in Team fucking Fortress 2. Every question in Team Fortress 2 can be every Team Fortress 2 answer, like even every competitive decision making has an anchoring on the idea if you have Uberad or Disad. Again, like if you have Uberad or Disad, if you don't know what that means, you just pause this video and come back later because this is like an advanced guide. I'm basically assuming that you already know the basics. This is basically teaching you what you don't know if you're stuck. But let's say you're back. Okay, welcome back. But what I mean by that is that every question on Team Fortress 2 can be answered if the enemy medic has Uber add. What is the percentage of your medic to their medic, right? So the general idea of competitive Team Fortress 2 relies on the fact that not only relies, but mostly relies. I want to say that immediately, like right now, off the bat. It doesn't solely rely on the medic's like percentage because like different classes exist, but mostly exists because of the medic, right? So the general idea is this then that the medic is the most important class in Team Fortress 2, right? The medic, it again like it's situational, but most cases the medic is the most important player in the team. So what do I mean by this? Like what is threat-based positioning? So threat-based positioning is essentially moving in a direction where classes that are alive will have you to struggle the most, and in classes that are dead will have you easiest. So an example of this is a mid-fight where double soldier's alive. Double soldier alive, but no scout. Let's say no scouts, right? So double soldier alive. Let's assess this threat, right? If we have this threat right now, what does this mean for our team? If you are on medic, where do you kite towards? If double soldier is here, right? That means you get spam to kingdom come. But as medic, you you have to understand that there's always a threat to getting immediately bombed, right? So think about it, right? Let's think about it as a team, as a group, as individuals, as my viewers. If you are a medic, what is the easiest way to protect yourself from quammers? So kiting in towards Saw is not really the greatest idea because Saw is essentially a closed space and you don't have a lot of room to escape if a soldier bombs you there. It might just be fat GG if that happens. But if you do like surf into lower or kite towards lower, what does this mean? This means that a lot of classes opened up a lot of pincering maneuvers on the enemy team. So for example, a scout can deny the soldier easily, and then your pocket scout can deny the soldier easily. Or if he doesn't deny, or if he sucks, or if he miss, it is what it is. He can just kill him once he in. What does this mean for you though? Because you don't care about your team, you care about your positioning and your thing, right? Because this is a medic guide, not a fucking scout guide. There's a billion scout guides. So we're talking about medic. You're the most important player in the team. You're the fucking sigma male, beta male, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Uh, You basically this enclosed area. What does this look like to you? This looks like a roof. When there is raining soldiers, right? When it is raining, what is the number one thing that you try to find? You try to find shade. You try to find not the TF2 player shade. You try to find roofs or you try to find cover. Basically, this protects you from bombs. So again, this is I can even hop on process to show you later, but that's how threat-based positioning works. Another one. If the demo soldier is dead, let's say the demo is alive for enemy team and the scout is here. As medic, if you're positioned here, what must your positioning be like? Your positioning as medic depends solely on your team and your team composition, but the general threat is this scout mushing you forward, this scout mushing you forward, and demo pushing you forward. Now, I want you to think really, really, really critically. If demo double scout is alive, can you cross towards lower? If the answer is no, then the positioning changes into here. What does a scout not have? Right? A scout is basically unable to lock down chokes as effective as a demo man, but the demo man can cover that. So that means because of the positioning itself, you're already caught and your only option is to come towards Saw. But the mid doesn't necessarily mean it's lost, right? So why is it not lost? Why is it iPhone? Why is it not lost? Because the main idea, once again, the threat-based positioning comes again in the clutch. What does a scout not able to do perfectly or like as amazing as the soldiers? It's choke control. That means you can go all the way to Saw, all the way to window, and who can stop you? The demo man. The demo man can't stop you because if the demo man tries to stop you, you get pincer from Saw. Right? And also the demo man, if he's smart, he'll fucking lock down Saw. But generally the main idea is this, right? There are many ways to play a positioning based on what classes are alive and what classes are able to fuck you over. So another example of this, I'm gonna put go process here. So again, my first chapter is still there. Uh, let's say you're playing medic again. Double soldiers are alive. Double soldiers are alive, right? Let's say they're here. As medic, if you're getting bombed, where do you kite? So generally, you want to kite towards choke, right? You want to kite towards choke. Okay. But let's say your team is pushing somewhere else, pushing a choke point or like there are many different approaches to process middle. I feel like right side mid is a bit iffy now these days. I'm not very confident on right side push as much as center or left side leaning plays. But the main idea is this: if as medic, when you enter certain positions on the map, you need to understand that the moment you enter the map, you enter different biomes, right? You enter biomes. This is the soldier biome. So this is where soldier is king. If you're here, be the most again like threat-based positioning once again is once a class is alive and the positioning itself is understandable, you have to understand that like when you push into a position, you need to understand what can kill you, what can fuck you over, what can destroy you. And a double bomb on this area is over. Like you're fat GG'd. Unless you're like godlike Team Fortress 2, you're like John Fortress 2, you're not living this one. Like unfortunately, even if you live this one, there's a high chance your team is just doomed. Unironically. But you have to understand, right? This is soldier biome. And then what is demo biome? Demo biome is this, right? Demo biome is center. Center A demo man walking up center is just fat GG'd, and then if a demo man is walking on the health pack, it's fat GG, right? This is demo man like biome. So when you walk up into the positions like these, if the demo man is all the way back, that means you're safe, right? So again, okay, now height is scout biome. A scout can just drop down. You can get rolled, but here, by the way, like this is scout biome. Uh, Basically this. I want you to think of it like this. I want you to think about like you're entering a domain. You're entering someone else's domain, so you have to be very careful. But as medic, what does that mean? Like, am I fucked? Is it over? Like, I just fucking go in and I fucking die? No. You can use that to your advantage, right? If a certain class is dead, that means you playing here is actually you being immortal. If the soldiers are dead, you can play here and not die ever. No one can kill you. Like realistically, no one can actually kill you. So that's what I mean by class-based positioning. Let's take not a mid fight for example. Let's take a second pushing into second, right? Pushing into second. Again, pushing into choke. Let's answer the question first. Let's say we have 100% Uber ad. So enemy team can play it two ways. Play for sack or play for spam. If the team is good, they'll play for spam first. So for example, your team is enemy team is here, they're at fucking top here, side spire, soldier spamming crazy, demo spamming crazy, and then you'll just the moment you get hit by 70 damage or 50 damage, they jump and sack you. Basically that's how a good team would play it. But most teams would just run it and fucking sack for fun. Or just spam for fun. It, basically just assume that you'll be spam first and then sack. If you have full ad, I want you. Let's do this as a thought experiment, right? Thought experiment. If no scouts are alive, no scouts. What does that mean? What can I do with no scouts alive? That means you can unironically just jump their entire team. Not their entire team. I mean, jump height with no repercussions. Uh, Obviously not on medic. Okay, I'm kind of off tangent here because I'm talking about different classes, because different classes has to escort you. But I'm just gonna talk about medic. I'm trolling. If no scouts are alive, great. That means that you can catch them and you have no pressure of just getting W'd, right? If soldiers are alive though, right? You have to be very careful because you're gonna get spammed, you're gonna get sacked. So what does that mean? As medic, you have to bait the sack. You have to, for example, pushing forward. Sometimes you have to delay. For example, right? Like for example, you're pushing choke, you have full ad. Sometimes I would play here and AFK here with a scout, mind you. I'm not gonna be alone here because if I get bombed and I get landed on, it's still over even if I play it perfectly. You AFK with a scout, your team pushes, your team takes space, and then when they sack, you're fully protected. There is no way they're getting through that choke without a scout whooping his ass, or a soldier, or a demo, or whatever. Right? So that's what I mean by threat-based positioning. And if no demo is alive, for example, no demo, what does that mean? We don't need to worry about traps. We don't need to worry about pipes. That means every choke is easier to push through. That means that, for example, if no demo is alive but both soldiers are alive, okay, you still want to play it slow, but there is this option where you could just take it fast because there's no traps to fuck you over and try to catch whoever's caught. So there's a lot of typical ways to play it. So, again, I'm gonna open up Highlander for my Highlander people, my Highlander peeps, my Highlander individuals. Let me pause and get a map. Hey guys, I'm back. Got the map. We're being chilling. So now, let's do that. Let's talk about our Highlander peeps. Okay. It's very simple, right? It's very simple. A lot of classes are like infinitely better on like I'm gonna talk about Bedek, fuck it. So if Sniper's alive, you can play like a dumbass and play here. Right? You can play on the point. Right? What does that mean for your team? That means if sniper is dead, you can actually play a lot more aggressive, spam their entire team, and make space for your sniper, who could be at crate, who could be at rock, who could be at the point, to make some early picks, right? If spy is alive, what does that mean? That means no looking backwards and focus on arrowing. Arrowing soldiers on right side, arrowing whatever, like a lot of forward looking. What if Pyro is dead? How do you position? Positioning on medic on Pyro death is not really like that big, but generally how you want to play is that as a team, you want your demo man to peek up and then spam the fuck out of their combo because Pyro is dead. If Scout is dead, what does that mean? That means no point pressure and no Scout that can. I mean, Scout doesn't relatively pressure you on medic. The only way you get caught is on Ubers. But typically, if you do have this ad, like let's say you're in pocket and the enemy team is gonna barrel towards you with Scout Demo Uber, that's the threat of a Scout Uber, right? Like of Scout. But typically, like there's no interaction between Scout and Medic usually, unless it's an Uber or like heals or like you know being a pocket Scout in general. And having a soldier dead means you're not gonna get bombed, obviously. So what does that mean? As medic, there's a lot of things you can do when you're not gonna get bombed. You can play rock here, for example, if spy is dead as well. If spy and soldier is dead, you can play rock and you're basically invincible. No one can kill you unless like your entire team is AFK. If heavy is dead, what can you do? You can actually like have a soldier bomb, but again, like threat-based positioning is basically understanding what can fuck you over in this map. So, what is this area? This area, if you're standing on it, this is enemy demo biome. This is enemy soldier biome, enemy spy biome, and then this is a enemy sniper biome. So this entire area is just enemy sniper biome. So understanding what maps, what angles you're stepping on. Also, this is safe. This is soldier biome. This area is soldier biome. Maybe demo biome. But what does that mean, right? What does that mean? If you stand at biomes or lands or domains or whatever areas that are owned by certain classes or known for classes to certainly perform out of their mind when enemy players stand on their biomes, then it's generally safe for you to play in the biomes of dead classes. So for example, if Sniper is dead, you can play around this entire area and be relatively safe. And then if you play soldier, if the soldier and spy is dead, you can play around this entire area on rock and be relatively safe, and there's no threat of you. And if demo is dead, you can actually play here perma off cooldown, but this is usually pretty safe. And then this, if the soldier is dead, you can play even more aggressive like here. The only way you die to this if you legit just get caught by sniper because there's no sightline here. So what does that mean? What does threat-based positioning mean? Again, I want to emphasize this. It's understanding what certain parts of the map is ruled by different classes, right? You're when you're standing on a floor, you're standing on a metal pipe, you're standing on a fucking wooden crate. You need to understand what classes can approach me on this positioning. What can fuck me here? So again, you need to understand. You need to play a little bit more experience, whatever. Like you need to understand that the interactions of the map and the class is very different to one another, and how you position based on understanding like that is how a good player is relatively like more like more like better as a player. So again, what does that mean for you as a medic? My general tip is to play on areas that are not play like that are owned by classes that are dead. So I personally prefer a medic that plays off the wall like full aggressive. Like I want to limit test. I want you to limit test and understand like what is the limit of your class. Can I play here? Can I play there? Can I play this? And if you die, take note of it. Oh, I can die like this. So for example, right, like another example of how like an intricacy of the thing is how did I know that this is soldier domain or soldier fucking zone? Why? Because I saw a soldier saw me on concrete, does a wall bomb and instantly whoops my ass, or he does a cleft to cleft bomb and whoops my ass. Like, that's the only one I die there. And also, if as a sniper is perma out there and I'm caught here, I have to stand still here because I have to cross, and my sniper has to cover the cross, so he has to chow him so I can cross, right? Again, why did I know that this is like soldier demo area? Like, because it's very simple, guys. It's very simple. Because I died to them once, or I died to them already. Medic is a trauma-based class. Learning on Medic is being traumatized and understanding, oh, I can die like this. Oh, I can die like that. So, remembering what are the threats, what you died to, is always important for Medic. It's always understanding, oh, I can die like this. I need to be very careful about this next time. Okay, that's it for me today. Thank you guys. Goodbye.